Hey, all you paddling and outdoor nuts. Today I'm sitting down with Mark Zimmerman, also known as the Barefoot Paddler. He just completed doing every portage trail, every hiking trail, every route, and plotting and assessing every campsite in the Boundary Waters. And he has compiled all of that data for you. We're gonna tell you all about it. We're gonna talk about what it was like to do it. He did it 100% barefoot, buck-ass naked feet. We talk about what it was like to do that and more. And if you're into barefooting, this is for you. If you're into outdoor stuff, this is for you. Also, paddling news at the end. Stick around for that. All right, let's get into it. All right, good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you.
Thanks so much. And yeah, what a good spot you picked.
Yeah, this is a nice little spot.
Yeah, this is great. All right, you sit down, Huck. You're gonna distract me and just stay right there. It's been a long ride for him.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, he does pretty good. He does pretty well. I can't complain. He's only a year and a half.
Oh, okay. That's a long drive for.
Yeah. So, and yeah, he stays pretty well behaved. So, all right. Well, here today I am with Mark Zimmer, also known as the Barefoot Paddler in the local area.
Yeah.
Somewhat famous, I guess. We're getting there.
I wouldn't think so. No. Just a guy out here.
Just a guy out here wearing no shoes.
Usually, yeah.
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 Yeah. So that was kind of one of the things that like caught my ear. I was listening to something else because I listen to all kinds of outdoor nonsense.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, barefooter, man. I was like, I've been dabbling in barefooting. This guy hiked all the trails in the Boundary Waters, right?
Yeah.
Barefoot, with the pack on. I mean, that's no joke. I mean, to most people, I know you're acclimated and all.
Right. It's never been abnormal to me.
Yeah.
Because I guess, well, because my grandpa was a barefooter, so it's always just been normal to me, you know, to have somebody just, you know, barefoot all the time. He chopped part of his toe off, I think, mowing the lawn barefoot one time. So, you know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you got to take a little bit more care when you're walking around without any shoes.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's always just been the thing. And then, you know, I dabbled in it, you know, before, you know, my first few years doing it, and then he passed away, and then I designated a barefoot day to him. And then I did like, I don't know, 25 miles or something. I did like 7 miles of portage trailing, portage trails, and then I was like, okay, well, I can do it. And then I just kept up and off ever since. So yeah, now ever since then, and that's been quite a few years already. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll just stick with the barefoot theme for a minute here. Actually, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to try to stick to my notes. It's a new thing I'm trying.
Yeah. All right, we'll see how it goes.
I know, total disaster. Well, you know, I mean, like trying to get out of the house when you've got kids and a wife and work and stuff. Like, I literally had to refine these while I was driving, you know, because I was just like, no, everybody's in your hair, you know. Yeah. Do you have a wife or kids or anything?
No, just me. Yeah. So, yeah, everything I do is a lot of silence. Yeah. A lot of weird thoughts going through this mind.
Man. Well, let's talk about some of those. What brought you to this idea of this mapping project in the Boundary Waters? And why don't you explain what you're doing there?
Yeah, so I'm marking every campsite. Old maps, and I don't know if they were more accurate or not because I wasn't around then, but all the old maps that I study, you know, like they're, you know, they have campsites in different locations than they are now. They move, you know, and they just haven't been getting updated as frequently as they should, probably. So I really don't feel like I'm doing anything new. I'm just updating what was already there, and by doing it digitally, it's more accurate, and then I can utilize it in different ways. You know, I mean, like I can turn it into an app, or I can overlay it on top of a map and print them. Like there's really a lot of options now that I finished it. I don't know which road is going to be the one that ends up being in front of me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what came first? Did you do, was it the campsites or the portages or the trails, like, and you just kept going with this?
Well, yeah.
How long did all this take? I
Yeah,
mean, it
so
seems like it would take a few years.
It did.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right? Yeah. No, I did. I noticed that the portage trails were a little bit off, and it was concerning to me because I can paddle, you know, like all day long. It doesn't matter to me if I have to paddle another mile or two to get to a campsite if the other ones are taken. But people that don't come up here all the time, they're not used to it. It's exhausting for them. I understand that, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing the portage trails because they were not exactly where they were, and beavers change, you know, things and stuff. And I tried to do it as accurate as possible. I tried to include beaver dams, you know, for lower water and everything like that. So you kind of, I mean, like I try to make it as detailed as possible, just to help people get around in the woods.
Yeah. Okay.
And I wasn't concerned at first about them getting to the campsites because it was never a concern to me, because you just have to keep going if they're occupied.
Right.
But then I noticed, I'm like, well, the campsites really aren't that accurate too. And I'm not doing it for me because I don't need any of this.
Right.
Yeah. So I was just like, well, this would probably help a lot of people out. So that's really what it boiled down to, is I'm really just trying to do this to make things more accurate for people so that when they do come here, there's just, I guess, less questions in their mind about whether is this a spot or not. And
Right.
I guess it just, you know, if you're looking in one spot and it's a quarter mile away, not that it's really that big of a deal, but you know, it helps.
Yeah.
It definitely helps. Yeah.
Right.
And then I'm kind of rating them too, to see if 9 people can fit there, you know. I don't have ratings for everyone if I don't know. But yeah, so I started the portage trails 4 or 5 years ago, and I did all of them. And then I went through the entire Boundary Waters again and did all the campsites. So now I've been everywhere twice in the last 5 years. A lot of work. Yeah, that's the cool part, I think. So
you've been on you've been through the entire Boundary Waters.
Yep, twice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a feat.
Yeah.
How many miles do you think that is?
Oh God, I have no idea. I have no clue.
1,000?
Well, I did over 200 miles of hiking trails this year. And so if you figure the hiking plus the paddling, it's well over 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It's great.
All right. So the mapping project's really cool. And you're working on getting an app together. So some kind of like, you know, I don't know, like OnX or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the Boundary Waters.
Yeah. And I might even try to talk to them and try to collaborate something with one of them, because they're, you know, they've already done it, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't need to recreate the wheel. I just,
right.
You know, I just trying to make it a little rounder.
Yeah. So this is the data.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
This is all of it. So that's all the campsites.
Those are all the points.
Them are beaver dams. Them are the portage trails. Yellow on this one is hiking trails. Blue is trails that aren't maintained by the Forest Service but still exist.
I love it.
Lookouts, you know, just points of interest as the regular ones. That's an old ranger cabin that still are out in the woods. There's 4 of them. So that's everything.
That's a cool picture of like all the data points there.
In the Boundary Waters itself, there's 1,976 campsites that I found. And then when you add Superior National Forest, there's well over 2,000. But yeah, so that's a lot. That's pretty cool, huh?
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So you click on each one here, and then you've got all of this info that comes up.
Yeah, if it can fit a bigger group, a smaller group, you know, that one's fits 9 people, so that one fits a bigger group. This campsite, tight for 9 people, 2 to 3 tent spots, so I got, you know, that tied into the information too. And then I'll eventually link pictures to all the ones that I have pictures of, which is a few thousand pictures. So I'll link them to that. But yeah, so now I just gotta try to make an app that makes it kind of like this, because I did this and then I did it on Google Maps, right? I did a Google My Maps thing. So when you click on, this is my Google My Maps now, right? So it's the same thing, right? And then you can click on, here I got green for portages, green means go. And then you can click on the campsite, 3 tent spots, average site, and then there's the pictures of it.
Wow. I know what I was going to say earlier. How much is too much information to give someone? You know, because part of coming out here is adventure and doing it and leaving something to the unknown. And also making it difficult enough so that not everybody is doing it also. Because I think a little bit of what's the right word? Self-selection, you know, out of the wilderness is okay. Because there's some people that maybe just shouldn't be out here doing all this sometimes. But, you know, because if you remove all the mystery, then what does it become?
I've thought about that. And it's... People pay a lot of money. The information I'm giving out is campsite information.
Yeah.
People pay a lot of money for these trips to come to the Boundary Waters. And I respect the fact that they fly out here, they rent canoes from our local outfitters, which is bringing money to our local economy.
Yeah.
Right? When they're coming out here, they're on limited time because they have flights to catch, they have all this other stuff to catch. If they're out here and they're out here with a group of 9, is it really bad that I'm giving the information out that they might not be able to get to that campsite? They're on a limited amount of time. That campsite can't really support them to begin with, so they have no reason to paddle over there.
It's a good answer.
The campsite might not get used then as often, right?
Right.
But that's not anybody's fault. The campsite doesn't get used now to begin with if it's not a nice campsite. So I'm really not changing anything. What I'm doing, I just feel like I'm respecting the fact that people spend a lot of money for these trips, and it can help them make their trip better.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like the thing with the cell phones up here. A lot of people were against fighting for the cell phones. If a cell phone is up here and it saves somebody's life, isn't it worth it? Because all you have to do is turn it off. You don't have to buy these maps. Right. If you're against it, you don't need to. Sure. You know. So no, it's true. It's as simple as turning it off, which I think a lot of the times people forget.
Yeah, they forget that they can just turn this stuff off. Right. And that's why they're here.
Yes.
Sometimes is to just turn it off.
Yep. Yeah. It is. Yep.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. So I respect it. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a pretty cool project.
It's been a lot of fun.
I'm doing something similar on a microcosm with the Platte River. I don't know if it'll ever get completed. There's a lot of sections that are pretty darn dry a lot of the years, but I'm trying to hit all points just because it's like my backyard river. Okay. You know, I growing up on the Front Range, and in Wyoming, but nothing compared to this.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ever really like. I mean, I know it's never been done here before. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, like, the Appalachian Trail and, like, the Pacific Crest, like, them have to be obviously extremely accurately marked by now. Because I would have assumed that most of the people that do that go through and mark it, you know?
Right.
So this is just kind of a cool, I guess, first, you know, or whatever.
It's pretty cool.
You know, see where it goes.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited. I just finished it like a week and a half ago. So
that's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a big deal.
Really
now you got to do that. Now you got to do the data crunching and all the the computing.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, if it helps get more people aware of not just the Boundary Waters but the greater area, and you know they'll want to hopefully protect it. I mean, I know we'll get into it later probably, but there's. You know, the whole area seems to be under assault all the time from
different stuff.
Different stuff, you know, and nowadays and lately it seems like they're just trying to ramrod stuff through. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, I can explain to people where the water flows, and I can, you know, show them, you know, what happens. But I mean, like, I can't change anybody's opinion or anything like that, you know.
No, no. And I mean, you know, to be clear, I mean, obviously there's, you know, society will grind to a halt if we stop extracting resources altogether.
Of course, we need mining. We absolutely need mining, you know. But you know, this is the thing. The unique thing about our water is that in Minnesota we have water that flows to 3 different huge bodies of water, right? We have this water, you got the Laurentian Divide, which flows to Superior, you got the other end, which flows up to the Arctic, right? Because that goes up through Canada. And then anything south of the Continental Divide, south of here, it all flows down the Mississippi into the Gulf.
Right.
Yeah. So all of our water here, where they would start the mine, would flow up to the Arctic.
Right.
But we're the starting point. So everything throughout Canada, the entire way, you know, would be
hit.
Tainted. Yeah.
Tainted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read some books. I collect old forestry books and all that other stuff. There was a book from the mid '60s that actually was still talking about there was still a Chilean mining company, I'm quite sure, at that time. And it was from, they were talking about the ore, but they said it was low quality, low grade ore. Now, of course, the grade of the ore hasn't changed, but the technology has. So maybe they can extract it easier, safe. Well, you know, that's, who's to say, you know, would it be cool if it was an American mining company? Well, probably better, right? You know.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, are you talking about which one are you talking about? The one by the Porkies?
No, the mine that they wanted to do here, just by Birch Lake right here.
Okay. Yeah. What is that one? I haven't heard of that one.
It's south of, well, it's probably like 20 miles west of here, something like that. Birch Lake, the lake that's like 40 miles long, is kind of where that starts, and then that watershed all goes from there. So that's where they want to extract it.
Right.
So then if it was to, you know, come through the ground, that's where it would go.
Right.
So some of the water up here would still be fine, you know.
I guess it's a matter of how much it's going to dilute and. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no idea. I haven't studied any of that or anything like that, so I really don't know a lot about it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I know that we just, you know, need to find a happy medium where we're not burning the planet, and we can still have.
Well, and I think having some public input and listening to the public when they're screaming at legislators is key. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, what else?
When people are protesting and screaming at you, you know, they're at the end of their rope.
It is. It's
already.
It's our last. It's our last chance to be able to do anything.
Yeah, and it's public lands. Like, we are public landowners, and you know, ultimately, you know, a more democratic or a more, you know, inclusive path forward would be what I would like to see, rather than some Canadian mining company or anywhere, you know, come in and slam, you know, like the Copperwood mine that they want to put next to the Porkies, slamming it down everybody's throats, you know, and most of the profits, of course, go out of country, and the jobs are temporary and they've, you know, the yada yada, the list goes on for grievances that the public is trying to voice, but the legislators aren't really taking that seriously, because they're, you know, I mean, like most of our system, they're in bed with, or they're either, you know, in sort of, they have the ears, or sorry, the, what am I trying to say? The corporations have the ears of the legislatures.
Right.
You know? So anyways.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, we could really work on recycling a lot better. We could have all of our devices not have planned obsolescence. Like, we could.
Oh man.
There's a lot of things that we could do simple, easy things that we could do to make this
make it better,
more sustainable, and
yeah. we could go on for a long time about this
right?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. I guess I'm already started.
But so the mines, if it happens, but like I said, it's been going on for years. It's been a fight for years.
Yeah.
People in the ELA community feel very, very strongly both ways about it, because tourism has been a huge part of a lot of people's lives, and so has mining and logging. Was a huge part of that area for the last 100 years. You know? I mean, when you're talking old for northern Minnesota, we're not going much back more than 120, 140 years. You know.
Let's get back to this. So I've heard that you go in to the bush basically at the beginning of paddling season, and you come out somewhere near the end.
Usually, yeah. That's my normal year. You know, this year was different because I was working on the project. But yeah, an average year is, and I'm on year like 13 now or something like that. I go in usually the day after ice off. It's spring though, so you have more daylight. It's not as hard as fall, right? You have less daylight. It's, you know, so the high is what, 50 degrees today. It's 50 degrees for maybe 3 hours. You know, you know, like it's, you know, below. You know,
it's cold.
The frost.
It's winter paddling.
Yeah, it was still frosty this morning at like 9:30. You know, 10 o'clock. It was, you know, not that it was cold, but I mean, like it's a big difference, you know, in the fall. So yeah, I stay usually till about mid-October, and then I have to go back and find some work and make a little bit of money for the following year, and and then figure out what I'm gonna do with all this data. I'll do like 3-week trips. So I park usually I park towards the Ely area, or sometimes over by the Gunflint, and then I can do 3 weeks. If I'm in Ely, I can do 3 weeks west and then get back to my vehicle, resupply, get a new permit, and then do 3 weeks to the other side, and then whatever, you know. So
I was gonna ask. So how do you get permits like that? You know.
Well, because for me, it doesn't really matter what day I go in or where I go in.
Okay.
So I just find one that's open, and then I just work around that.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, like it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
You know, if I got to start out with a, you know, mile portage, who cares?
Who cares?
You know. Yeah. You know. It's daily life. You know.
Right.
So it isn't.
Right. This is how you live half of the year.
Right.
It sounds
so
like.
So it's not, nothing is. It's all just normal to me. You know.
Yeah. So in your mind's eye, do you live in town, or do you live in the bush, or in the forest in town, in some place you visit? Like what's the relationship there?
I don't consider anywhere to really be home, nor am I really looking for that. I just, you know, I go to places and I'm there, and then I go to another place and I'm there.
Right.
You know,
it's a lot of time alone.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's part of the reason why I leave, you know, like mid-October instead of waiting till the ice comes back, you know, is I'm pretty lonely by this point of the year. You know, so it's nice to get back and have some conversations with, you know, more people.
Yeah.
You know, a different variety of, I mean, I love the people that come up here. I love the people up here. But there's a huge variety of people in bigger cities, and that's great.
Where do you live when you're not living in the Boundary Waters?
Well, I got family in central Minnesota.
Okay.
So I'll go back there this winter and then do a bunch of stuff there. Over the winters, I've worked in Michigan, Wyoming, North Dakota.
Okay.
I just, you know.
What kind of work do you do in the off time?
I was a sheet metal worker for many years.
Okay.
So construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's always a need for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
good money.
Yeah, you know, when you're working with your hands, which keeps my skills, you know, going and stuff. Because I mean, like, you know, I'm out here working with my hands all the time. You know,
right.
So I mean, like everything I learned in the trades, I can, you know, bring that back with me here, and
right.
You know, I don't do carpentry. That would be a cool, you know, it would have been probably a good one for me to learn, so I could do a lot more traps and snares and stuff, you know. But sheet metal works too.
I don't know. I don't know if you need carpentry to build the traps and the snares.
No,
so
you
much
don't.
as
No,
cunning and skill and cunning.
Right. Yeah.
But and knowledge. I've done a bunch of concrete and a bunch of carpentry, and
Okay.
it's good stuff. I'm really glad I know it. I mean, I've done some renovations, and you know, I work in the architecture and design industry, and
Okay.
so, but I do, you know, I do love building, and it's good.
Fun, you know.
Yeah.
I used to do Legos all the time when I was a kid.
Oh man. I had this huge, you know, they just accumulate, and they had this huge wicker basket, and I would just dump them out, you know, and
Yeah, hell, I'd probably still enjoy a day of that.
oh yeah, my son's doing it now.
Oh,
He's
okay,
5,
nice,
and so
nice.
now he's got
So that
they've
gives you a
accumulated
reason to,
another basket, and I'm like, oh, go nuts,
Gives
buddy.
you a reason to hop in every once in a while.
Yeah, and I love seeing what he comes up with. You know,
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. I suppose, right.
Yeah. So it's great. It's such a good toy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever want to go to another spot other than the Boundary Waters? I mean, it seems like that's a lot of. I mean, I love getting to know someplace, right? And but I also love going to see the new stuff and seeing what's around the next corner and bend. And you know, you've been through the Boundary Waters now twice. Is there going to be something next?
Well, there's, you know, I mean, I've been through the lakes of the Boundary Waters, right? I mean, there's still thousands of acres, you know, probably hundreds of thousands of acres that I have yet to explore.
Right.
You know, because there's so much more than just, you know, the lakes. I did do the second year, third year that I did, you know, people ask me that question a lot, why do you keep going there? So I took a summer and I went from here to Colorado to Yellowstone, up through Glacier, back over to Washington, and then back down. So, I mean, I did that, and I used to travel for work. So I've been quite a few places in the country. I like them, but I'm a Minnesotan. Like, the lakes, I'm a lake guy, you know? Like, I don't know what I would do without access to water and fish all the time.
Yeah.
I would go look for a lake.
Right.
You know, that's what I would do. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that impression as we were texting. You said you're just coming up to look at the lake, and I was like trying to find this lake, you know, and I'm like, oh man, well, that is a small lake amongst all of these huge lakes. I'm like, this guy loves his lakes, which I can relate to. I mean, I have the same affinity for, you know, moving water.
Okay,
and, you know, so I'll be checking out anything that I think I can paddle down, you know. But I was like, oh yeah, this guy might.
Even a pond has a personality.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so I like the little ones just as much.
Yeah, boy. When I was a kid, you know, we had this little pond on this farm I grew up on, and it might as well have been one of the Great Lakes for me. You know, I mean, I get out there, I put my dad's canoe on it, paddle across it in about 4 strokes, and to me that just seemed huge. It was big. You know, I mean, I was only like 6 trying to paddle a full 14-foot canoe, you know. But, you know, it's really important to have water in your life. Same with nature and stuff. I mean, I understand why you're out here a lot, you know.
Great. You know.
Yeah. I mean, what, humans, we've been domesticated now for all of 5,000 years, 15 maybe. Not even domesticated. We're not even very good at it, you know. I mean, we keep, you know. We're really not good at being domestic. And we've been living outside and barefoot for a couple 100,000 years.
There's advantages to being, I mean, inside. It's safer. You're away from storms, you know, like.
Oh yeah.
You know, the.
Well, humans always have made shelter.
Yeah.
But living on the land versus living apart from it is something that I don't think our DNA is caught up to yet. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, because an average day in town, even if you accomplish stuff at work and you know, like, it's probably different when you have a family and kids,
Yeah.
right? But for me, when I'm done at the end of the day out here, the day was rewarding, and there was a lot to the day. You know, there was different parts of the day. When I'm in town, it's just, okay, well, I made it through the day, and now I get to enjoy the rest of this small amount that I have left of it.
Right.
You know, so each day is, it's just more rewarding, you know, I guess. So, but like I say, it's probably different with family, because then you have kids to, you know, to make things special, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess I probably look at things differently that way. It's just as, I can feel just as lonely in the city as I can feel in the woods. And if I'm going to feel lonely, I would rather be by myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that a good way, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a great analogy. You can be just as lonely in the woods as you can be in town.
You know, yeah, because I mean, but it's worse when there's people around, and you know that you shouldn't feel that, you know, like I shouldn't be lonely. There's people everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, we're really getting off into the weeds here, but I have felt plenty lonely amongst tons of people.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
when people don't get what you're doing, you know, when it's, especially if it's anything that's out of the ordinary, saying paddling twice through the boundary waters and then walking it just as much, you know, they don't necessarily see the big picture, and they don't see the passion, and you don't necessarily have time or the bandwidth or the desire to explain it to them.
Right. Oh, of course. Right.
Because if they're not getting it in the first 5 minutes, they might not get it at all.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And that can be isolating.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Yeah,
Well,
you can be just as lonely out here as you can be in town. I might as well be out here.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm not complaining about it out here.
I like
it out
that.
here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm not alone out here. I have tons of things that I share things with. You know, I share things with all the animals. I have great experiences with animals.
Yeah.
You know, but they're short lived. But there's special experiences with them. You know.
Does anything come to mind?
I mean, like every year, there's always different stuff that sticks out in my mind as far as animals go. You know, I mean, I've seen at this point pretty much everything swim except for a cat. I haven't seen a lynx swim yet, but I've seen pretty much everything else. Squirrels, rabbits, you know, even the small ones. You know,
Swim.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, so that's, you know,
So everything can swim. We have definitive proof now.
Yep. So it's just, you know, all that is special, you know, just to kind of do that and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
some days I'll have, you know, beavers paddle by, and, you know, they're usually pretty cocky, so they slap their tails. But every once in a while, they'll just pull up on shore and grab a stick and start eating and hang out with you and stuff. You know?
Really?
So it's like, oh, you know, that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
Red squirrels, real chirpy, you know, and real talkative. If they're not talking to me or yelling at me, whatever you want to call it, you know, like, then that means that they're yelling at something else usually. So that gives me a warning that something else might be in the area. So I can use them kind of as signals.
Really just being hyper aware of the rhythm of
I suppose that's
nature.
just like every other animal.
Yeah, like every other animal. Well, it's how we used to be.
Yeah,
we used to
I'm
have
sure.
to be that way.
Right, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just kind of come back again a little bit.
I mean, I don't want. I'm sure this has gotten to be cliche. Huck, you really gotta just sit down, man. I know you're really having a hard time. It's been a hard day. Been 1,000 miles in the truck just to come here and talk to the Barefoot Paddler. Sit down, settle down, down. I mean it, down. Don't make me beat you on camera. I'll do it. Has anybody ever asked you if you watched a lot of Grizzly Adams as a kid? Because I did.
Okay.
And I'm like, you never watched Grizzly Adams?
No.
Oh, you got to now.
Okay, yeah.
You got to go see some reruns of Grizzly Adams.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, kind of, you know, a one-off of Grizzly Adams. He's a, you know, I don't know if it was fiction or not, but I loved it as a kid. Like I wanted to go out there and be Grizzly Adams at one point. He went out into the woods, lived off the land, literally had an entourage of couple of raccoons and a grizzly bear and some birds, and you know, it was awesome. It was awesome. So I'm super jealous of the lifestyle that you get to live, you know.
This was never the plan. It just became more rewarding to me. Like it just, you know, less ended up being more.
Right.
You know, I never thought I was going to be this way. I never thought I was going to be doing this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I mean, I grew up, you know, as a hunter, you know, and, you know, like I came up, you know, and paddled and stuff when I was younger. But, you know, I mean, sometimes we don't set the paths that we take. Sometimes they're kind of just, they're there for us, and we just have to kind of follow them, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people who are forced into things, you know, and I wasn't really forced into this. It was an opportunity for me there, and, you know, yeah.
Do you have a, like an origin story? It sounds like there's some sort of origin story there. Where did the opportunity first knock?
Well, the reason I came up here to figure my life out was because I was drinking, you know, more frequently, and I just needed to figure my life out. I was idling my life along, and I wasn't progressing, and in any way, right? And now I'm progressing in lots of different ways. You know, maybe not the civilized way that society usually expects people to live,
but your path for your own self is progressing and
is going in great directions for as far as I'm concerned. You know, I can, you know, something happens, I can sustain off of this pretty well for a long time. And, you know, I told myself when I first came up here, you know, well, it wouldn't be that hard. After all these years of doing it, I would still struggle. And I just, the only difference is I know it now, you know, so I would be better, way better now. I would have died years ago, you know. The second year I came out of here, I was just woodsy, skinny, just you know, just solid muscle, but just no, I you know, nothing extra. Right now, I have, if I get lost now, I have enough to sustain me for a little while. Right, that wasn't the situation then. So I've gotten a lot better. I can tell, you know, all the plants. I can tell you what the plants taste like. You know what they. I try to learn enough medicinally that I'm okay. You know. You know. You know, you can spend your entire lifetime learning it and still not know it all. So you just do a little bit each year, and you know, you do the best you can.
Right.
Yeah, and don't put anything that you don't know in your mouth. You know?
Right. Yeah. It's good advice.
Most of this stuff around here is it won't kill you. You know, even if you eat it, we don't have like, you know, super poisonous stuff. We don't have venomous snakes up here. You know, this is pretty safe in them regards.
So it sounds like, you know, maybe not reconnecting, but getting deeper enmeshed out here really sort of, it sounds like kind of turned your life around at some point. And then just, you know, you just kept going with it. And is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it made me happier.
Yeah.
You know, just a different, not that I was unhappy before, it's just a different type of, I think it's a better happy. Well, let me put it this way, I guess. The more time that I spend by myself, the more I want to do things for other people and help other people. And I didn't have that feeling necessarily when I was around people all the time because, you know, I think maybe I was just annoyed sometimes. But, you know, fair enough, right?
I don't know what that's like. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But not being around them a lot and being able to, you know, learn the land and all this stuff and then being able to help them, it's appealing to me.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's it's super nice to, for someone to find someone who can, mentor them in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the more time away from people, the more you wanted to help people. That is not what I expected.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it turned out. I didn't come up here. I came up here, because I was having problems. I needed to figure my life out, right? Which isn't necessarily selfish reasons to come up here, but it was kind of selfish reasons to come up here because but I wasn't doing it for myself. I was doing it to improve myself.
Yeah.
Right. Which in turn, that's how I tried to do it, was becoming, I guess, trying to figure out ways to help people, I guess. I don't know, I don't have kids, again, like I said. So like, if you want to leave something to this planet, you don't want it to be, you want it to be good.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to help people. And,
I think we are we're probably or approaching the age where we're starting to think about that and have that paradigm shift in our mind, where it's like, you want to do something that's impactful in a positive way,
right?
Rather than just riding the roller coaster of capitalism.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I made an edible berries pamphlet, edible wild berries of the Boundary Waters. That's on my website that you can download for free.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my gift to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So even if none of this other stuff works out and all I did was give away a berries pamphlet, that's still something.
It's something.
It's something, it's better than nothing.
Knowledge, I mean, well, and what people would call primitive knowledge is really rare, if not disappearing still.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's experiencing somewhat of a resurgence, but I would say that it is still an endangered species of knowledge.
Well, I wanted to do it because I put a QR code to my website on there. So then if people want to look at the website and find the portage trails and eventually the campsites and all this other stuff, right, like, then they can. But if not, they still get an informational packet, which is marketing. It's basically, it's marketing for me, right? Because I can give people the edible berries pamphlet that has the QR code on it, but it's not soul sucking marketing,
right?
Like most soul sucking,
most marketing is soul sucking for sure.
It manipulates the way that you think about things, but it's that's what they're made to do. That's how they're trained to do it. So like, it's so I did it for positive marketing.
Okay.
Right? And I'm trying to lead by example.
Yep.
I'm not trying to lead anything, but I'm trying to do things by example.
Yeah, you're trying to do it so this in a way that's in line with what your values are now.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, hold that thought, because I'm paranoid. Do you mind if I throw some more wood on the fire?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the light is holding out.
Here, I can chop some more up.
All right, I'm gonna change that battery. All right, thanks for bearing with me there in my and getting some heat on this fire.
Yeah.
So where was I? There was a question. There was something that popped into my mind. Oh, what was it?
Oh, the campsites.
Yeah,
the campgrounds.
The campgrounds.
It'd be hard to give all that away, but I mean, it is what it is. Like,
yeah. I don't know. It's where I'm from. Some of the national forest districts over there are starting to have reservations for the dispersed campsites.
Yeah.
And that really hurts me, because that's what I grew up camping on, was the dispersed areas.
Yeah.
And to think of that, I'm going to have to get on reservation.gov and 6 months in advance, or however many months in advance, and compete with everybody else.
Yeah.
Boy, that really takes some wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
And it really makes me kind of angry. I'm not sure what to do about it. I understand the why, and I understand that, it's because of pressure and it's because of improper use. you know, but still, it's just like the dispersed campsites. That was my that's always my backup.
That's my go.
Always my backup.
That's my
if
go-to.
Not my go-to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that I have a family, that's my backup. You know.
Right, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it
So.
right. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. This having to make reservations for camping thing is, it still chaps my ass.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't plan stuff like that, so I.
Yeah, I've never planned a camp.
No.
You know, I mean, only now that I have, you know, more of an entourage. All right, Huck, come on, Huck, come on, lay down. Not everybody wants a hug and a kiss. We don't need to sit here and kiss and neck and cuddle. I know. You gonna crawl up in my lap now? This is embarrassing for you. This is embarrassing for everybody. I don't know whether to cut this out or not. You stay there. So, all right, come on. That's enough. Just sit down. Stay there. So how much are you living off of the land? Because you mentioned one year you came out basically skin and bones. So you're really out there kind of foraging quite a bit then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. On an average, it depends, I guess, really what time of the year it is, you know? I mean, like midsummer, you know? I mean, 60, 70% my food probably, you know? Maybe higher.
That's a lot.
But like, you know...
60 to 70%.
Yeah, well, this is berries and fish.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just go through all day long.
Right, well, yeah, fish, I guess. Fish can provide a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really not even hard. That's why they do like alone in the winter, because it's honestly not that hard to do in the... I mean, it's hard, but it's not...
If you can fish.
That hard, right? Yeah. So... And then in the spring, you know, it's less than that, and then the fall, of course, it's less than that, you know.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it'll be fish, and there's a few plants left, you know. There's still rose hips and wintergreen out there, and most of the other stuff is pretty much gone already. You know, so it gets tough.
Yeah, it's a tough time of year.
Yeah, spring is great though. I mean, because you got all the greens, you know, you can make some really, really good stuff.
What do you make? What do you eat? I mean, I don't know. I could not live off the land. If you set me free right now, that would be very difficult. I would be falling back on fishing and hunting, and the foods, the plant stuff, like I would just be too scared.
Well, berries is the main thing, and then another thing that you can do is teas. If you want vitamins, just do a lot of teas, and then you can get your vitamins that way. You know?
Really? Okay.
In the spring, for like greens and stuff, there's lots that we got up here. There's false lily of the valley, or mayflower, which tastes like green beans. Violets taste like peas. There's blue-bead lily, which are clintonia, which tastes like cucumber. So there's lots of different stuff. We have a plant called sweet gale, which is a spice that grows around all the shorelines, which has got like a little bit of a wild peppery flavor. Yeah. So there's really a lot, you know. I mean, that's just four, I guess. I mean, like there's a ton. Yeah. There's aster, which is the big leaves that you see growing around here on the ground cover there.
You can eat that.
Aster, yes. Yeah, bears eat that a lot in the spring. I'm not big on the flavor of it, so I kind of leave it alone. But it does have other uses, you know. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Have you thought about writing like a foraging book?
Not a foraging book, no. There's way
Something
better.
Similar. I mean,
there's better people out there for that.
I don't know. I mean, you know, you got a pretty unique perspective. I think most of the people that have written books aren't spending years of their life actually out living it and doing it.
But right. But I mean, they study every single one. You know, I only utilize what I know. You know, there's some stuff I don't know that I don't utilize. You know, so I still got a little bit to go before I could. You know, if I was to write a book on, you know, and anything, I guess it would, you know, to be an expert in it, it would more be of the the routes throughout the boundary waters and stuff like that, and then I could kind of tie in
your maps.
the maps. And then we do have the boundary waters has a distinct line, like a distinct line where there's different areas of plants that exist in the boundary waters. Like closer to Lake Superior, there's thimbleberries. You got thimbleberries out by you? They're like a big raspberry, but the leaves are probably like 6 inches wide. They're huge leaves.
Don't know.
Okay. It's a bramble, or it's like a raspberry or whatever. But they grow probably 60 miles from Superior, and then they pretty much stop. And then it kind of changes into blackberries, and then there's like sweet fern over on the western side of the boundary waters, and you really won't find that on the eastern side. So this area is big enough, and with the lake, that there's basically 2 different ecosystems throughout the forest, which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, which I utilize it differently for the berries. I'll go to one area earlier where the berries ripen earlier, and then I kind of work my way towards Superior as things ripen later.
I was just about to ask if you, what's the right word? Follow the seasonal pattern, being a nomad.
Correct. So how you would follow the elevation by you? I go closer to the lake. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how you would do it by you, I'm assuming, is just keep going higher up the mountain as
things ripen up.
Yeah. Yep.
What are some things that you've seen people, outsiders, jamokes like me from out of state or wherever the city, come up and really botch out here? What are some things that you would, I don't know, I guess, hope to instill a couple of basic etiquettes or, practices that you wish would go away up here?
Everybody up here is at a different experience level.
Sure.
Right? So a lot of the people who come up here who make mistakes is really just because they don't know what they're doing. And you can't fault a person for that, No. In fact, you should really encourage it because they're learning. As long as they learn from their mistake, it's an improvement in their life,
Right.
So I mean, if people, leave trash, that's a different story, and stuff like that. But I haven't, around the entry points, you see a little bit more. Deeper in the woods, I really don't find a lot of problems with trash. The biggest thing that bothered me about people not knowing was maps, right? Like when we watch, you've been in the boundary waters, actually? No? Okay.
No.
Okay, so you gotta watch a video. It's just a short video. And it talks to you about the leave no trace and stuff like that and a few other things, but it doesn't teach you how to read a map, right? So you're sending somebody out there with zero experience who probably has never paddled a canoe in their life before. And you're sending them out in the wilderness. There's no signs, right? We don't have signs anywhere. And a lot of people don't know how to read maps, right? So now with my product, right, like, not to market my, but I mean, like,
go for it. I mean, it's a legit tool.
This can help them. They can buy a map and they can use, the campsites and everything on the device, and it can help them read the map. So they can use it as a teaching tool as well. Yeah, they can verify what they're looking at on the map. Is that really what they're looking at? And, right. Yep. So they might not need, hopefully by the end of their trip, they don't need to look at the app anymore. They can just look at the map that they have. Right. I mean, I'm not opposed to not taking a paper map with me. I haven't carried a paper map in like 6 or 7 years, probably. You've ever been lost out here? Not lost. Well, like, no. Turned around? No. I'm sure you've been turned around, no? Not really. No, I don't really. I've worked into everything very slow. I can walk, can I walk a mile in the woods now and not get lost? Yeah. I can't. I know what you mean by you're working into it very slow, and I think that's... But I couldn't do that at the beginning. I would walk a quarter mile into the woods, and I would lose sight of the shoreline, and then I would work my way from the sun, and I would look at everything else around me, and I would try to figure out the way back, right? And then I would go further in, and I would go further in, and I would do the same thing, right? So I taught myself kind of how to work off of it that way, off your senses more and off of your visuals of everything going on around you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, out west, there's almost always some sort of prominent landmark that you can use to reference your position. And out here, I mean, for a guy like me, it's kind of intimidating, honestly, to be quite vulnerable. It's like, you know, I have a really good sense of direction, and I can almost always find my way out in the woods or in the mountains or in the desert. But here it's like, man, you go in this and into the forest, it's like everything kind of starts to look the same if to the untrained eye.
Yes, absolutely it is to an extent. So you kind of have to plat things out while you're walking it, you know. Okay, well, there's a swamp over here, you know, about this many, you know, feet away from this other stuff. And then once I'm walking back through, okay, well, there's that swamp. I know I got to be about, you know, 200 feet over this way from it once I get to that section. Or, you know, I missed it a little ways. It's way over there. There's a clearing that I can see, you know. So you just use it in the same way, you know. The nice thing about the mountains is sometimes you can see a little further. You get into some of the flatter land around here, and you know you have no point that you can use, other than terrain.
Do you use a compass much when you're out there? No,
not really anymore. No.
You're just winging it, eyeballing it,
you know,
in muscle memory.
I'll bring you know my device with me, you know, if I'm out there, you know. So then like, if there is any question, you know, like I can just look, you know, but I've made it so that, you know,
you challenge yourself to try to not do it.
Yeah, that's the fun part about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you know, can I do this? Well, you know, yeah, I can. You know? But yeah, it's all been built up. You know, you know, in the spring, you know, can I just go out there and run barefoot again right away? No, I have to build back up to it again after the winter, you know. Now, yeah, I can run on acorns on cement, you know. But
that is that's a good segue. Let's circle back around to the barefooting thing. So, my personal story about it is that, you know, I would roll my ankle like 2-3 times a year, not a full sprain, but just a roll, and enough that it would, you know, I'd limp around for a couple days. And, you know, I was like everybody else. I grew up wearing shoes, normal shoes. And then I started, wishing, I just wish I had a pair of moccasins, you know, and my old man had a pair of moccasins that he wore around the house all the time. And they were so comfortable when I was able to finally fit them. And it's like, man, I really want another pair of moccasins. So I started looking around and discovered there's a whole barefoot scene, a whole barefooting shoe scene out there. And I mean, it's just like, boy, it's like a subreddit, you know, you go down this black hole. And I instantly, like, I always walked around the house barefoot. You know, I always kick off my shoes and prefer flip-flops to shoes or nothing at all. And so now I started to realize, oh yeah, this is why, is because my feet are wide anyways, and now they've gotten even wider. And I haven't rolled my ankle really since. And you know, so zero drop, wide toe box, or no shoes at all. It's been amazing. Like I have a hard time going back to regular shoes when I have to. So, I mean, I see you're wearing shoes now. We're in the fall, but.
Well, it's not because of that. Like I was hiking earlier today barefoot. Like when I'm hiking and portaging, it's barefoot, you know.
So you were barefoot today earlier?
Yeah. When I was doing all the stuff down by the lake, the portage and stuff, then I did a little bit of hiking earlier. I do all that barefoot.
Are the soles of your feet like leather or?
Oh yeah.
Let's check those bad dogs out, man. I'm gonna bring a camera in here. Yeah.
There's pads on there.
That's what we call Kmart feet at my house.
There's definitely. Yeah, they're thick.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
right? Yeah, completely different than an average. Yeah.
Pretty, yeah.
So now you can see how I can do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I've read about and experienced, you know, just the benefit of like my ankles getting stronger, my arches, my feet spreading out. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, surely, what's your experience?
I guess that I don't notice. I've never really had like, you know, I guess I've never really had ankle issues or nothing. When it's wet, you know, if it's raining or there's just dew from overnight or anything like that, rocks are slippery.
Yeah.
Wood is slippery. Shoes, you can't feel anything, right? I can feel everything. You know, if I slip, I know
feel
what's
everything.
gonna happen.
Your feet kind of tend to grab the ground.
Yeah.
I've noticed, like they.
Well, I can use my toe muscles.
Yeah.
You know? So if I have a ledge that's this big on a rock,
Yeah.
I can utilize that, but I can't with shoes.
No.
There's circumstances where shoes work better than feet. You know, but not often.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
So it's just, you know, and I'm so used to it. It just is what it is. You know, it's just the way I do things now. But
yeah, I had a pair of when I was working in Alaska. I wore a pair of mucklucks. They were the military issue. They weren't like the nice leather ones and stuff, but still, that amount of space in the shoe and the flatness of that sole and how bendy it was. It's like wearing slippers, and I started to realize like I can feel the ground, I can feel everything, you know, and it's just a different sensory experience. And then
it's like having another set of eyes.
yeah, or hands on the ground.
Yeah.
Or eyes is a good one. Yeah, you're getting so much more feedback. Even just wearing these little, you know, stupid little loafers. I've hiked up, you know, hiked in these to see if I could do it, and of course you can.
I did,
but it's sort of a leap of faith, and you sort of feel like you're leaving the house without pants on.
I did the 5-finger shoes for a few years, but sticks when I was walking through the woods, you know, sticks would get through them, and then it would rip the shoes. Yeah. So I was like, well, this sucks. So then I just took the shoes off, you know, like I said, you know, just take them off, and then you know, my soles are getting stronger as it goes, you know. I mean, so I saved a few $100 on shoes for sure. Yeah. You know, bonus.
I know. Well, that is one thing I've noticed is that the barefooting, the shoes that they market as barefoot shoes, the 0-drop wide box stuff, they're still cheaper. And so I mean that is a bonus. I'm not going full barefoot. You know, everywhere. I would love to try a few miles like absolutely barefoot, but I think I need to toughen up my soles a little bit still. So
all depends on where you are. In northern Minnesota here, we have some rocky, really sharp rocky terrain. This isn't a beginner's ball game. But you know what we don't have here?
Cactus.
Prickly pear. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. And that sucks to step on.
Yeah. When I'm out like bird hunting or something, and it's just, you gotta have boots.
Right.
There's just too much cactus.
Yeah. So there is the advantage there. But yeah, it's rocky, and you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I use my toe muscles. It's great.
Isn't it great?
You know, and yeah.
It's like a whole new set of sensory input, and it really does. I mean, you really are more stable. I mean, there's a reason that like all martial artists, most dancers,
I suppose,
they're all barefoot.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you just have way more control, and a shoe just blocks. And plus, it's like you're walking on a wedge. And you don't think it makes a difference, but just, you know, walking on a 1/2-inch wedge, actually it limits your full mobility that your foot's supposed to have.
Well, it makes them wider. You know, shoes make your feet wider, so I can, you know, when there's 2 rocks next to each other on a trail, I can usually fit my foot in there, or I can angle my foot differently as opposed to what I would be if I had shoes on.
You mean barefoot makes your foot wider?
No.
Shoes make your feet wider?
On the bottom,
because
Because of
the actual
sole and
physical,
everything, yeah.
because of the sole. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
can jam your
actually-
foot in there.
Yeah, and then I can, like when I jam my foot in there, you know, if I need to, I can squeeze the muscles in my foot and do whatever I need to manipulate all of that too, you know, as opposed to when you're wearing shoes, you really can't use your feet muscles much.
No,
You know?
you're walking on platforms essentially.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
it does to me over the course of the fall now is because I'm starting to, I put shoes on to get moisture back into my feet, because if I don't wear them at all, then they
dry
crack
out.
really bad.
Yep.
All the way through all the layers. Yeah.
I have same problem, man. My heels can just get so cracked.
Okay. Yeah.
it
So if I wear
hurts,
shoes, it keeps the moisture in. So I'm doing that now. But because I'm barefoot all the time, when I'm hiking, if I decide like, oh, I'm gonna hike like 10 miles or something like that, and I'll just throw my shoes on today just because whatever, I get sore hiking 10 miles in shoes. But I can hike 10 miles barefoot without a problem and not be sore at all, because the muscles in my legs are actually formed a little differently from doing it all summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just neat,
Right,
I mean,
it's
not like
really neat. It is really
yeah.
cool. It's like, with shoes on, you're masking, or you're inhibiting your ability to use a whole set of muscles and tendons that you were designed to use, which then means then your knee and everything else is having to compensate for that lack of tools in the foot.
Yeah.
It's just a theory. I mean, I'm no physical therapist. My sister-in-law, she's a physical therapist. She'd probably disagree with me, maybe.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think she gives me a little bit of a hairy eyeball when she's like, "Yeah, really? I don't know. I'm okay."
I mean, I mean, it does really form the muscles differently. That definitely is that's true. But yeah,
it's
kind of.
I keep telling people it's a game changer. They got to take their shoes off or try something really minimalist, and
And I don't even really consider myself a minimalist.
No, I mean the shoes, like just having minimal shoes on. It's just you just notice how light your foot is, and how much weight shoes actually have to them.
They're warm.
They are warm.
They're warm. Yeah.
Shoes are warm.
They definitely are warm. I noticed that right away.
I guess it is approaching shoe season.
Yeah. It is, and then in the winter I got nothing, but I do.
You ever try muckluck?
Yeah, but I mean, like I try to be barefoot as much as I can in the winter, and I can still be barefoot when there's snow.
Yeah.
Right? But it gets cold after a while, so I can't be out there for more than probably maybe 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've got about 10. I've done the same thing where I try to acclimate, try to let's just keep every time I go outside. Yeah. I just forego the shoes. I'm only going to be out there for a couple minutes. Nobody's going to die.
Well, it takes a while to cool all that skin down.
Yeah, that's a lot of skin. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
But once it is cold, it does take a little, while to warm it back up. But yeah, no, it definitely it affects it.
Yeah. Yeah. My office right now is out in the garage, and I just leave it. It's unheated, and I'm still, wearing nothing or these because it's we're only in September and October down there in Colorado, so it's warmer. But I notice how cold my feet are when I jump back into bed with my wife, and I'm just like, oh, thank God she's been in here warming the bed up, because man, I didn't realize how cold my feet were till I got in here. It takes them a long time to heat up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, Mark, we'll wrap it there. I'm sure we could jam all night, and I would run out of all my batteries for the rest of my trip. But
you need to charge anything?
I'll charge a few. I got a charging setup.
Okay.
Right there. But
cool.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure. I thought I was running into a man after my own heart, and yeah, you're out there ahead. I wish that I could catch up. I don't think I will. I mean, I've got kids, and I love them, and I don't regret that at all. But it's different. You have a unique freedom and the ability to come out here for months at a time and just live off the land. Like, wow. You know? I hope you write a book one day.
The freedom part is what you're 100% correct about. Everything that I'm done in this, right, makes me freer, right?
Yeah.
Learning the plants makes me more free, right? Learning to live off the land makes me more free. Being able to do it barefoot makes me more free, right? I have more freedom and the ability to do it than I guess I ever expected, but when it boils down to it, more than a lot, probably 99% of America, you know.
Oh, yeah,
Not
absolutely.
throughout the world. Throughout the world, there's obviously people that would whoop my ass, but.
Sure, but, you know, you're approaching that margin there that, you know, there's not that many out there. I mean, you got a real skill set, and, you know, I think giving, you know, helping, what's the right word? Passing along some of your knowledge. And I think that is a real gift to the local economies, the local, being up for 24 hours is starting to catch up on me. It's a real gem to society and, you know, your community. And so keep up the good work, you know.
No, I
That's
appreciate
pretty
it.
cool.
Though. Yeah.
So
you know.
I look forward to seeing the app and some physical maps.
Right.
I love maps too. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
we'll follow back up, and hopefully somebody will watch this stupid podcast. I don't know, man. I mean, I've got like follower, tell a friend.
Right.
Maybe. Don't tell somebody who doesn't care.
Do a lot of people watch them? I don't know. I didn't even really say. I mean, like, you know,
I don't know.
You know what though? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm doing this for fun.
Well, you're
and because I love it.
Yeah.
And to hopefully leave a body of work for my own kids to see and learn from. And, you know, I mean, I look back at like my grandfather and some of the stuff my dad did and my great grandfather, and some of them kept notes in a journal and others didn't. And I just wish that there was some record of what they did, because they did some really incredible stuff back in the day, and things that would just make us look like Twinkies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, my great grandfather, they said they would fall and buck 100 trees a day by hand with a buck saw. And these are old ponderosas. I mean, these are big trees. That's a lot. Man, those guys were hard. It looks like a wet noodle compared to these guys. Right? You know?
Yeah.
They would ride all day and they would drink once at noon and that's it. Meanwhile, the rest of us where's my water bottle? Hey, where's the water? You got your water bottle? You know, it's like, God, we don't, you know.
That's one thing my body adapts to that very, very good too. I eat breakfast in the morning. I don't get hungry. I drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
But I don't get hungry. And when people are up here with me, they work their ass off, and I'm turning around wondering what's taking them so long.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm okay with that.
You're acclimated, you're conditioned, you know, and but
I'm a professional.
You're a professional.
I am. If you were to go to a marathon and try to run against a professional marathon runner, you would have zero chance of competing.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I am a professional at this.
Yeah. You would disappear into the woods without a trace, and people would be left wondering, where'd our guy go? Because we don't know where we are.
Right? Yep. Then I'd show up 2 years later and I'd be looking just as healthy as I was. They just really took a toll on me. I needed a break.
I left you guys right here last year. Why aren't you still here? I left you right here. What do you mean you got lost? Yeah. It's cool, man. It's really fun to, you know, I mean, that's one of the reasons I've started the podcast thing, is because it's just,
it's just really cool to talk to people who have unique perspectives and have something that's not run of the mill to say. And the more I listen, the more I find these people, because I'm listening now.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that's, you know, the YouTube thing has actually helped with is, well, now I'm looking, I'm paying more attention. So I'm slowing down. I'm more observant, and I'm forcing myself to, you know, document something and capture something for my own posterity, if nothing else. And now I have this huge archive of footage and photos that I just love sitting and going through it, you know, because I get to relive all of these moments. Whereas the first 2/3 of my life or more, I didn't do any of that.
No, right.
I kept a journal, thank God. But, you know, written words are great, but we have, you know, we have pictures now.
Yeah.
And boy, nothing tells the story like a picture.
Right. Yeah, I journaled the first 2 years that I came up here, and I went through some tough times. I struggled.
Yeah.
I was angry at times. I never get angry up here anymore. Nothing gets to me. Nothing.
Isn't that
Everything
neat?
is just, it just is what it is, and
It melts away. Like you leave what I, like Dire Straits called industrial disease, you leave it behind. It melts away. And we all, well, I don't know about you, but everybody I know certainly is suffering from the metaphorical industrial disease, whether they realize it or not.
Well,
You know, it's a constant agitation. It's that constant friction that is life and in our world these days.
well, everybody thinks that I miss shit from the city. What do you miss? What do you miss? I'm like, you want to know what I miss? I miss when I come back to town. I miss the fucking woods. You know? That's what I miss.
Yeah.
You know, is it a home? No, it's not a home. This is my home that I can never call home because it's a forest, right? So no, I can't get it into my mindset this would ever be my home. But so it's in my mind that I'm just a human. I'm just a human living in the moment.
You're a human just living on the land, and you know you're part of the land more so than anybody I've ever met. And
Yeah, there are other people out there. Have you met other people out there like me? I got no idea. I don't. I'm out here doing this all the time. I don't really.
like I said, the last guy I thought of, like, he was Grizzly Adams. He was a TV character in the 80s.
Okay, yeah.
You know? I mean, like, no, there really aren't. And so, like, when I heard about you, I was like, man, I gotta see if this guy will talk to me. You know, because why not? You know, throw a stone and see what sticks. And yeah, because nobody's out there doing this stuff to this level. I mean, there's a few. I'm sure there's definitely high level outdoor athletes out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would count you in that category, but within a little, you know, your own little sub niche, I suppose.
Right.
To label it.
Right. Yeah.
Doesn't really need a label, but it's just, yeah, you're living at a high level on the land, and that's pretty neat.
It's pretty cool, you know. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find any of them plants.
All right.
Oh, here, I'll give you this thing.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that interview with Mark Zimmer. And now here is the paddling news as I walk up Raleigh Peak and attempt a little bit of barefooting myself.
All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly while I'm hiking up Raleigh Peak. These are the 2025 things that caught my eye, ones that I think are pretty important. If you got something else that you think is more important or that stood out to you, let me know, leave a comment. All right, the good. California bans single-use and thick plastic shopping bags completely, 100%, January 1st. This is good news, and if you've ever paddled an urban river, you know why. If you don't think we have a plastic problem by now, then you're an effing then you're an idiot. Go read a book. The European Union passed a law that requires countries to actively restore wildlands, not just protect those that are left. They had some massive forests back in the day. And the last ones that they do have, the last old growth ones, are being logged by poachers. Illegal logging. Check out Romania. This equates to a vast reforestation of Europe, hopefully. I don't know too much about this, but their hearts are in the right place, and I think that's a good thing. They're stepping up when we're stepping down, or when we're stepping backwards. Hawaiian researchers at the University of Manoa have found several fungi that actively eat microplastics, and some can even be trained to eat more than they normally would. That's really cool. Hopefully that can be scaled up. That's awesome. Long Island Sound O2 levels have bounced back, recovered, signaling the lowest level of hypoxia in one of the biggest ecosystem recoveries in the U.S. in the second largest U.S. estuary. I think that's pretty cool. That's due to clean water and regulating fertilizers. And now the bad. 2025 has been a dumpster fire, and there's just so much to choose from. But here's the top 3 for me. Let me know what they are for you. The Ambler Road was approved and fast-tracked by the Trump administration. That's a 200-mile long mining road into the Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve. It's a totally roadless area. Local tribes and scientists all say this is going to negatively impact the wildlife, the water, the whole ecosystem. I know we need mining and all, but for God's sakes, is there no end to it? Also, it's going to disrupt the watershed of the Kobuk River, which is one of the main drainages in the area, and it's a designated wild and scenic river. I'm hoping to paddle that this summer. Figure out which way to go. I'm basically bushwhacking. There's really not a trail up this thing. Trump began the process of rescinding the roadless rule, the project that protects existing contiguous tracts of wild lands from further degradation and extraction. I think that's a huge deal. As soon as you open up a road, you got hunters, you got mining, you got more grazing, you got, did I mention mining? You got timber for sure. It starts to change things a lot. And I think we have other places we can do this stuff. I think I picked the brutal side of this mountain to go up. God damn it. Senator Mike Lee of Utah, I've talked a lot about him already. He has tried several times to make it possible to sell off public lands or national parks, wild and scenic rivers, nature, wildlife preserves, etc. It seems like he tries once a week with a new bill, and each time we shut it down. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for calling, making the calls. All right, the ugly. Timber sales have been expedited for sales by an executive order by the administration, but they have been closed to the public in order to stop public objection and review. This is your lands that they're selling without any input from you. This is likely to be devastating for our old growth forests. I am not in an old growth forest right now, but it's an important forest nonetheless. And it is one of those contiguous spots that is, for all intents and purposes, somewhat roadless. Devastating mining projects near the boundary waters in Lake Superior have been revived and fast-tracked. This is one of the largest sources of fresh water in the world, the whole area I'm talking about, as well as Lake Superior alone. Water is the source of life on this frickin' planet, and this is super ugly. Now, there has been so much egregious actions done by the administration as well as Republican congressmen this year. It's just come fast and furious, and that was their intent. I will keep talking about it and keep you posted on my socials and on YouTube, but you got to do the hard work and make some phone calls yourself. It's time to lift that proverbial finger and take some small action and let the elected officials, especially the Republicans, know that you're pissed off. And there's a lot to be pissed off about. I mean, not to mention all the ice and the list goes on, but I'm gonna try to stay in my lane here. So Make some noise. I'm gonna make one ask to subscribe if you like this sort of outdoor content, and support conservation organizations. They do the hard work for us. My favorites are always listed down below of all of my content. American Whitewater, Colorado Whitewater, American Rivers, protectourrivers.org, Friends of the Boundary Waters, etc. Big shout out to all of them for doing the hard work. Friends of the Porkies. There's probably one near you somewhere. Help do the good work. It's time for everybody to get off the couch. And I hope you get to get out there in the meantime and spend another day on the land. It's your land. Go use it.